Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer, and now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Hi, I'm John Malos. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this day. Glad to have you along. It's on the air, off the presses, the first half hour. In the second half hour, it'll be sort of kind of the entertainment side. Anyway, 436, Me TV option 11. Once again, my friends, we'll be talking water rates. We'll be back in just a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
And welcome back to the program here on a Monday morning. It's on the air, off the presses, and boy, what a Super Bowl yesterday it was, huh? All they had to do was hand off to Marshawn Lynch, and maybe Seattle would have won it. Maybe, you never know. You don't know what's going to happen, but boy, what a stunning ending to that Super Bowl 49. What a very entertaining game, though, it was. Hey, I want to remind you that today's sponsor is Dr. Thomas Casagrande. He's from 2020 Optometrics out there at Shaw and Blackstone. He's got more than 2,000 frames to choose from, so go out there if you need glasses. I need glasses, so I may go out there and check it out. Anyway, thanks to the doctor there for his sponsorship on this program today. Want to mention also that we're live here on Comcast, channel 187, 43.6, and of course 13.1. Later on, you can watch the replay at 2 o'clock on 13.6 and at 8 o'clock tonight on 4.6. That's the replay. All right, the water rates, I mentioned that. Of course, we're going to talk about that. And our buddy Mark Standriff, you know, my friends, I've been trying to reach him for I don't know how many weeks. Can't get him on the phone, but you can call him at 621-8000. The recording is 621-8618 if you want to find out what's going on. I wanted to try to get Tommy Escueda on the program, maybe even the mayor, but for the life of me, I cannot get a hold of Mark. Anyway, the mailers. Have you mailed these in yet? You should have received these at home over the holidays, Christmas and New Year's. Now, this is the protest vote. If you check that box there and then sign the card, you return it to City Hall by this coming Thursday. It has to be inside the clerk's office on Thursday. It can't be postmarked Thursday, then it's too late. But so far, you know, I don't know the exact number. I'm not an expert here, and I don't claim to be. But I understand from reading the paper, the Fresno Bee, they have, some 38,000 plus already returned, not quite enough to overturn a vote by the council this coming Thursday. At any rate, you still have a chance to mail those in or take it down to City Hall, for that matter, down to the clerk's office. Live in our studio right now is George Hostetter, a regular here on the program, and he is a regular writer for the Fresno Bee, has been for many years. He's more of an expert than I am on this water thing. Each day that they add a new piece to the puzzle, it gets more confusing, my friends. I do know one thing, they do want to raise your water rates. How they want to do it, that's the big mystery. 436, Me TV, option 11. We're here for the next 60 minutes. Glad to have you along. Glad George is along. We're back with our program in just a moment. At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today. All right, back here on the program, Dr. Thomas Casagrande, our sponsor today. Glad for that. And our guest is George Hostetter. I'm glad for that, too.
Hi, John.
How are you?
Fine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you look great.
Well, thank you, and I'll make sure I buy you that coffee later.
All right, all right. Just quickly, just to waste 10 seconds here, what did you think of that game yesterday?
Just stunning, absolutely stunning. At Pete Carroll, he's going to join the ranks of Billy Buckner now forever.
That's I hadn't thought of that, but you're right.
Oh.
It's the Bill Buckner move.
Oh no!
My God, right through the legs.
Right, I know.
Ay, 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 ay. Hey, let me put some numbers up on the screen here. The water rates, the $429 million plan that the city wants to implement here for over the next 5 years, and it will triple the water rates. Let me also, as you look at this, and you've seen this before, by year 5 it goes up to 5218. George, you know this better than I do. And I want to put the city map up too to show the relation between, well, the city of Fresno and where the growth, the water treatment plant they want to put it on the east side of town. That's where they have, what is it, 14 or 17 square miles they want to expand. That's part of the 2035 plan. So this water treatment plant and the water rates, they're tied in together, it seems like, as I understand it. Is that how you get it?
No. There are a lot of nuances to this, but they want to put a water treatment plant in southeast Fresno. There is a growth area there called SEGA, Southeast Growth Area. It's 9,000 acres, so what is that, 14 square miles. Mm-hmm. And among some critics, that's a factor. There's a tie-in there, and so they go, sprawl is terrible, and this plant is for SEGA, lock, stock, and barrel, and that's terrible. Well, the City Hall officials, and I think they make a persuasive case, is that it's not true and much more complicated than that. I won't bore you with it, but SEGA is in the sphere of influence. It's this area where growth, by consensus, is slated to go. So, one, it can't be a mystery that growth might go there. Two, for SEGA to have just even a shot of coming on board in our lifetime, it's tied to some triggers, and those triggers are infill growth. And until there's a certain...
What does infill growth mean?
Me living right next to Ventura TV.
Okay.
More people moving into the established neighborhoods, the undeveloped lots that you might see on a corner, they get filled in. Older housing gets replaced, those kinds of things. Well, bottom line is, as you talk to the city officials, any kind of SEGA growth is decades away. And on top of that, there's an agreement that's where some of the growth is supposed to go. So
it doesn't sound like it'll happen in our lifetime then.
No, and sort of the sky is falling notion with this plant just helps some developer in SEGA. I don't buy it. Now, there are other issues with the plant that have been raised that might be more compelling than this kind of doomsday scenario involving SEGA.
So is the water treatment plant kind of directly or indirectly tied to those water rates, that 5-year plan?
Yes, that's the $429 million plan has 5 or 6 elements to it. The surface water treatment plant is the big one.
Okay.
Okay, so help me out here. You've had guests on. Is it maybe $180 million of the $429 million, 189, is somewhere in that ballpark. But
it's
so
close.
There are other elements to the plan. There are pipes, a variety of pipes. They got to get water from the Kings River to the plant. Pipes to do that. They've got to get new pipes. Then once the surface water is treated and okay for a glass of water here in your desk, it's got to get to Ventura TV.
Somehow,
Yes. And so they either get new pipes or they replace the ones that are crumbling that are in the condition like maybe over there at Pauley Pavilion in UCLA that busted. There's a couple other elements to it. One is recharge basins. It's not a big a part of the plan, but recharge basins, and that all fits into this complex puzzle of how Fresno can fix its very serious water problems.
You know, George, it sounds like, and I'm going to throw another confusing issue into the mix here, and that's the Fresno Irrigation District. So it sounds like there are about 4 or 5 different pieces to this puzzle, maybe not that many, but maybe 3 or 4. It has to do with the water treatment plant, maybe the growth a little bit, maybe the upgrading of the pipes, and then you throw in the Fresno Irrigation District. Now, the Fresno Irrigation District claims that they have a contract with Fresno, and Fresno claims they're supposed to deliver 180,000 acre-feet of water per year, but they only get a part of that. The city only gets a part of that. And Gary Serrato, the general manager of FID, told me there are certain parts of the city that they can't deliver that surface water from the Kings River, so it gets almost, it almost sounds like minutia to me.
Right, and I've heard the same things.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like in the Army, John. You know, in the Army, you know, the mantra is, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing.
What does that mean?
Exactly what it says, you know, that you start looking off into the, what about this? What about this? And then you, as the mayor said, you forget, Mayor Autry, you know, paralysis by analysis, you lose track of the main thing. And the main thing here is that 180,000 acre-feet of water. That's the main thing. Now, I don't know if you and your guests in the past have explored what this 180,000 acre-feet of water means. And means to the future, because that, I just can't emphasize that enough, and I'm not taking sides, but that is the main thing in this. Now,
because that water's got to get here.
180,000 acre-feet is a lot of water. Now, 60,000, Fresno has rights to 180,000 acre-feet. Fresno uses...
But are they getting all of that?
Well, that's where the interest of this comes into play, and that's why it's important to keep an eye on that main thing. So, 60,000 comes from Friant, and that's federal water. Okay. 120 comes from Pine Flat, and that comes to us via Fresno Irrigation District. And Fresno, in the course of a year, I hear different numbers, but it might use 120,000, 130,000 acre-feet of water. Well, we've been sticking straws into the ground and pumping up the water because it's easier that way and cheaper that way.
Yeah.
But we got this water that comes from the river, and it's relatively inexpensive, but it has to be treated. Take out, you know, I'm over there swimming in it. It's got to take out George Hostetter's impurities from that water so it can send off to the tap, whatever impurities are in it. So there are 2 ways to do that. One, you put it in a recharge basin. It percolates down. The soil filters it, and they pump it back up, throw a little chlorine in it, and send it to me and you.
Yeah.
Or to a surface water treatment plant. Bottom line is, water is scarce. It's a finite quantity, you know. Yeah. As we know for the last 3 or 4 years, and we're suffering through this year, another terrible, perhaps historic drought year. So, when the rains come back, how does Fresno make use of that 180,000 acre-feet? Because at current levels, we make use of about maybe 70,000 through recharge basins and through the surface water treatment plant in northeast Fresno. And here's where we're getting to the crux of the issue, John, is that other 110,000 acre-feet of water in an area where water is precious, where people down in Lindsay, where I'm from, they're watching their orange groves die, where Huron is paying $1,200 per acre-foot for water because they're going dry. Those 110,000 acre-feet, where are they going? Well, Gary Serrato at the forums let us know where it's going. Again, in an area where water, every drop is precious. Well, that other 110,000 acre feet going to farmers. It's
Right.
not. It's not leaving Fresno County. It's going to farmers.
And some of it's going back into the aquifer, into the ground.
Well, that's part of the 70,000.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
recharge. So
Yeah.
and so that's the main thing here is that Fresno goes. We need a secure water future. The days of pumping out of the aquifer without any regulations are over. State law killed that. It's over. So we need that 110,000 acre feet here for you, for me. And we got to build the infrastructure to use it. Well, if you're getting that, if you're a farmer getting that 110,000 acre feet, and all of a sudden Fresno takes it because it has first rights to it,
Wow.
and then what happens?
Big problem.
Well, you know what they say, you know, whiskey's for drinking, water's for fighting.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing here is it's a finite, it's a zero-sum game when it comes to water.
Wow.
And Fresno's going, we're going to take that extra 110,000 that we've been, through our indifference, sending down to whomever,
Yeah.
and we're going to keep it.
Yeah. Complex issue.
And it has people hotter than a drugstore pistol.
We're talking to George Hostetter of the Fresno Bee. He's a regular here on the program, talking water rates. Like it or not, your water rates are more than likely to go up. 436 MeTV option 11. Thanks to Dr. Thomas Casagrande for being our sponsor today. We're back in a moment.
Spinners Records, the Valley's classic vinyl headquarters, carries an inventory of over 500,000 classic LPs. Choose from rock, rhythm and blues, country, jazz, and oldies but goodies. Spinners also buys and sells fully restored, old school stereo gear and LPs. You can now get a turntable receiver and speakers for below $250. We carry name brands like Marantz, Sansui, and Pioneer.
At Spinners, we sell memories.
Spinners Records at 639 East Olive Avenue in the Tower District.
At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
We're back here on the program talking to the one and only George Hostetter. George, I want to put up, because I don't know if this vote's going to take place on Thursday or not, but those mailers, as we showed you at the beginning of the program in the monologue, those have to be mailed in by Thursday at the clerk's office, and there's what you should have received. And I want to put up full screens of the city council members. That you should have checked that box, signed it, and gotten it back by now. If you haven't, hey, mail it today. You still have time. It'll get there by tomorrow or Wednesday. Okay. If they vote, which I don't think they will, that's just my personal opinion, but then everybody has an opinion, so who cares? Let's leave that up there just for a moment. Those are for the city councilmen. In your judgment, if they voted on Thursday on this water rate issue, how would they vote? Esmeralda's brand new on the council, as we all know. The rest are kind of status quo. Well, what do you think here? How are these people going to vote?
Well, let me say two things. That's an excellent question, and that is one of the key questions. But another one is to the viewers that you don't have to send in the ballot. This is a protest vote, and that's why the Bee and all the media, TV, radio, are delving into this. That if you think this is a wise decision, and many do, that the infrastructure using the all allotment of the surface water will create a vibrant Fresno far into the future and rebuild an infrastructure that is not up to snuff, well, don't send it in. If you're upset, then send it in. But if not, you don't have to send it in. There are two sides. There are two sides. That's all I'm saying.
You don't have to send it in. You only have to send it in if you want the protest vote.
Yes. So that, and that's the whole point, is we want all the residents of Fresno and the County Islands who have a ballot at home to think and then make a wise decision. Now, secondly, you're right. Thursday, 5 o'clock, the protest vote is over. And it's 66,674 valid protest votes have to be in by that time to kill the rates. That's 50% plus one of the voting universe.
Seems unlikely that's going to happen.
It seems unlikely because, as you said, there are 38,000 and change as of 5 p.m. last Thursday, and those hadn't been validated.
Yeah.
And those were non-duplicate ballots, and so the validation process may knock some of those out.
Yeah.
So, almost certainly, come Thursday, I would bet a Kit Kat on it. This will go to the council. City Clerk Yvonne Spence will explain the final results. If it doesn't hit that 674 threshold, the ball lands on the dais of the council. Well, as we all wade through last week, as this issue hit the county Board of Supervisors, there's a lot of high-powered politicians meeting at City Hall and
I know.
About trying to find ways. Assemblymember Henry T. Perea, the mayor, some of the soups, local officials, Steve Brandau's a key part of this, are trying to find other pots of money to
fund this project.
To reduce the burden on
the taxpayer?
On the ratepayers here, because the idea being this is for Fresno to resolve its water issues is of benefit to the state.
Now, Brandau, as you look at him, of course, he was on the program here just last week or the week before, can't remember now, but he said he's abstaining, as you know, he held a news conference. So you have Esmeralda here. I don't know where she stands. I'm not sure where Oliver Bain stands. I think Capriolio. I'm not sure how
Cap,
he's
as he calls himself.
Cap, yeah.
Right,
Cap. It looks like he may go in favor of it. I don't know where the other three stand.
Right. When you go back to the vote of, what was it, December of 14, when it was 7-0 to start this process. Back in August of 13, when the first time this came down the pike, Clint Olivier voted no and Sal Quintero voted no. It was 5-2, and of course Esmeralda wasn't on the...
Blanc Zhang was in there.
Blanc Zhang. But, the key question here is, okay, we get to the point where it finally has gone through every hoop. The protest vote falls short. Whether it's in March or whenever the state effort ends, how will these 7 vote?
Yeah, and they're the other 3, by the way, Quintero, Brand, and Olivier. And I don't know how Sal's going to be here tomorrow to talk about this, by the way, just in case you want to know. Lee Brand's been on here before. We know his stance. Clint Olivier, I don't know.
But I think, I won't say names, but I think the council will vote yes to the mayor's plan.
Will it be 5-2?
And that's what I thought. Everyone thinks, is it 4-3? Noses are being counted and it's 3-3 or whatever. But I think it won't be 4-3. I think it'll be stronger than a 4-3 vote. And the reason is the main thing. Make sure the main thing is the main thing. And there's just no substitute in the valley. None. No substitute in the valley for water. None. That's it.
Yeah, I know. You got to have it.
That is it.
So who are the 2 that are going to go against, do you think? Do you think it'll be Esmeralda and perhaps Brand? Well, Brandau's not going to vote. So.
Well, he'll vote once every avenue of, as he said, every path, every rock has been looked under to reduce the price. He'll vote, but after, all...
Everything is exhausted.
Exhausted.
Yeah.
So he'll vote. And, what I find interesting is Henry T. Perea. I don't know if you've had Henry on here.
Not yet. We'll get him. We'll invite him.
Assembly member Perea, former council member, and he is a player in this, John.
He is, even though he's an assemblyman.
And it deals with state water policy. It's all connected, and Henry's going to be a key player of this. Now, the reason I mention this is that Esmeralda sits in that District 1 seat.
And she used to work for Henry T.
And I'm not saying she's beholden to anyone. She's an independent vote on there. But Henry T. Was a key part of support for a candidate who just barely beat Kerry Catalano.
I know.
So if Henry finds a solution to this that the mayor likes and Henry likes, and the other state assembly members from this area and state senators all like, and the soups maybe get on board to a degree, that's going to put pressure on the wavering folks in that council to say, well, I know which way the wind's blowing, and I might see the logic of this.
You said something very key right there. We do have a phone call. Let's take that before we go to break. A limited time here with George Hostetter. Good morning, caller. You're on the program with George. Go ahead.
Yes. If the city needs money so bad and they're trying to find ways to get money, why do they invest in places like Granite Park, Chick-Chancey Park, the museum, all these things that they've taken losses on? And now I just read in the paper that they sold a stage worth $330,000 for just $25,000. To me, they're saying, oh, okay, let's just give stuff away, but let's take money from the people.
That's a great question. Great call. Thank you, viewer. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Like you said, thank you, viewer, for the question. But you've got two completely different issues there. Here we're dealing with water infrastructure, and the others were social investments. And it's, tell you the truth, I'm not so sure those other investments that she mentioned were bad. Time moves on. I'm not so sure that they were unwise investments. Have you seen like the Met? Have you been over to the Met area yet?
Oh yeah, I've seen the area. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. The Met area
there
is being transformed, and that there's not a museum there, but that old Fresno B building is a key part of the latest Assemi project called the LEAD.
Right.
And
those are lofts, right?
And commercial.
Yeah.
There'll be some commercial.
Yeah.
So, but the bottom line is the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And Granite Park isn't the main thing. The main thing is what the valley revolves around, which is WATER. That's the main thing.
Right, right. But they have, Granite Park was kind of a waste, and many people think that the stadium is just sucking the city dry to a certain extent.
Well, you're right, and you should maybe get some stadium folks in here, because I just sense, John, that stadium judgment is reversing itself. All of a sudden, on a variety of financial reasons and what's happening downtown, all of a sudden that stadium's looking better and better. Now, maybe it was overbuilt, but I'm not so sure it was quite the mess that maybe its reputation has.
We got about 2 or 3 minutes left here with you, George, and I want to ask you, let's roll some videotape of some sprinklers, hand washing, that kind of thing, because water, as you say, is a precious commodity these days, especially here in the Central Valley.
The precious commodity.
Yeah, it's like gold. I mean, it's more precious than gold, I think, right now. Anyway, as we look at this video, let me ask you, what the heck happened at that supervisors meeting last Tuesday? I know you were there. So they voted, what was the vote here? I got it written in my notes here. The vote was 3-2. Mm-hmm. The vote was 3-2. And so what was the vote about? They had all these mailers that they were going to mail back. The county did?
The county had 30 to 40 because they're a customer too, and they have a variety of accounts. So they have 30 to 40 votes.
Okay.
And so the county goes, well, what do we do with them? How do we vote? And the way this thing works, and this protest vote's somewhat complex. I mean, you sign it and send it in, it's a no vote. I don't like the rates. You leave it on your desk forever or throw it into the circular file. It acts in essence as a yes vote. But the key thing is the county, what do we do? Well, it went beyond that, John, and the importance of that meeting, it was a fascinating meeting, was beyond that. And that was the two big local governments were debating each other water policy. And
Bruce Rudd was there from the city along with Tommy Esqueda.
And it was just fascinating. They were duking it out.
Unbelievable. Caller, go ahead. Limited time with George. Go ahead.
Very quick. A comment, taking the water out of the San Joaquin River for the city of Fresno, $1 million a year just to sustain the pumping and taking care of making sure that it's pure water, and also taking water away from the farmers. That is why the city of Fresno has water meters.
Okay, thank you for the call.
So, well, yeah, water meters are good. You should pay for what you use, and that's what a water meter is all about.
One quick question, and then we do have to go. Okay, Debbie Puchigan on December the 9th, she voted to repeal Fresno County's public impact fees. Those fees are assessed to developers. The fees pay for jails, libraries, and other stuff. So this is equivalent to having a developer subsidy to a certain extent. But last week, Puchigan voted against the city's plan to upgrade the water system. So she said she was concerned about the city's proposal would result in ratepayer subsidies for the developers. Isn't this kind of almost, well, hate to call anybody names, that's almost like being a hypocrite, isn't it? A little bit?
Well, the first part of this equation for the hypocrisies, which is having to do with this developer fees, that's beyond me. I admit it. But what the chairwoman did on Tuesday was she's very good. Debbie's very good at asking hard questions.
Yeah.
And you know, John, that's what public debate's all about. That's how things get honed to the best possible policy without debating it to death. And so she was a thorn in the side of City Hall, but she was also a blessing.
All right, caller, one last call, one last question for George, and then we got to go to break. Go ahead.
Yes, very quickly. I have a question that why do you have a vote for or against water rates if you're not going to use that vote when it ends up being approved? What is the justification for the council members to vote no on it after the vote?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, if I understood the question correctly, you know, why the 218, Proposition 218 is an amendment to the state constitution, and I think fees that are connected to property need to go through this protest vote. And there's a variety of 218 is a complex piece of you know, constitutional amendment, but in this thing, you get to say yes or no, but you got to have 50% plus one. Then it goes to the legislative body.
Right.
Now, I think one of the key things here is, you know, if 40,000 valid protests come in and it still falls 26,000 short, 40,000 is a lot.
That's a lot of protest votes.
That's a lot of protests.
They can't just ignore that.
Well, and you know, then you get into the question of, okay, that counts as something, but you know, how does the democracy work? Does the minority get to play like John C. Calhoun and nullify the majority? Just because they have a bunch of in the minority side, or does the majority get to prevail in a democracy? I don't know. You tell me.
Hey, just one last thing. The supervisors voted 3-2, I should say, last week, not to mail in that protest vote on behalf of the Fresno supervisors. So,
correct.
George,
okay, John.
Listen, good to have you.
Thanks for having me on.
Good to see you. And Dennis Hart gives his hello, and by the way, you owe him a Kit Kat.
He owes me a soft drink.
Okay. We're going to be back with our second half of the program here. Dr. Thomas Casagrande is our sponsor on today's program here on Connect with Me. We're back in just a moment.
Spinners Records, the Valley's classic vinyl headquarters, carries an inventory of over 500,000 classic LPs. Choose from rock, rhythm and blues, country, jazz, and oldies but goodies. Spinners also buys and sells fully restored old school stereo gear and LPs. You can now get a turntable receiver and speakers for below $250. We carry name brands like Marantz, Sansui, and Pioneer.
At Spinners, we sell memories.
Spinners Records at 639 East Olive Avenue in the Tower District.
At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
It's almost time.
Now we'll find out once and for all about Clark Kent and Superman.
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a TV show.
Yes, but who is he? What's his name?
He's Superman.
Golly, Clark, won't that be wonderful seeing Superman?
Fighting a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and television the MeTV way.
No one can do the things that Superman does.
The adventures of Superman.
Now on MeTV Fresno, Xfinity 187.
All right, back here on the program, 436 MeTV option 11, and Dr. Thomas Casagrande, our sponsor here today. I do want to mention what happened here, late breaking news on Friday, that noon press conference with Jerry Dyer, the police chief, put up the picture of Janessa Ramirez, killed by a stray bullet that traveled more than 270 yards 2 weeks ago. It hit her in the stomach. The poor little 9-year-old girl, she was a fourth grader at Steinbeck Elementary School. She died later on from those injuries. It all happened in Clinton and Marks. And on Friday, the police chief announced the arrest of these two men. On the left, 22-year-old Brian Cooks and 19-year-old Isaac Stafford. The feud between these two gang members goes back to 2012. Police say that Stafford was riding in a Dodge Challenger, Cooks on a skateboard. They got into a gunfight, and when Cooks fired back, the bullet that he fired traveled more than 270 yards, hit Janessa in the stomach. She later died. Chief Dyer held this news conference on Friday. Let's play that soundbite now from the chief.
And immediately an exchange of gunfire occurred between Cooks and the occupants of the Dodge Challenger. Approximately 4 rounds were fired from the Dodge Challenger towards Cooks. Cooks was crouched down behind a red vehicle that was parked on the street. All 4 of those rounds fired from the vehicle struck that red vehicle which Cooks was hiding behind. Cooks also fired at Stafford and the second person in the vehicle. And that happened to be the only round that was fired by Cooks. It did miss the intended target and traveled approximately 270 yards and struck Janessa Ramirez in the stomach. Janessa was standing with her mother in front of a laundromat. Janessa told her mother that she felt a burning sensation in her stomach and fell to the ground where her mother, Stacy, held her. Janessa was then taken to Community Regional Medical Center, but unfortunately did not survive.
And of course, later on, Chief Dyer described the scene as to how Cooks and Stafford came upon each other on that night 2 weeks ago. It was a Sunday night about 9 o'clock at Clinton and Marks. Of course, Stafford riding with somebody else in that Dodge Challenger, and Cooks riding on a skateboard along Marks, and Chief Dyer picks it up from here.
This is Marks Avenue, Clinton here to the south. This is the area in which Brian Cooks was hiding behind a red vehicle. Janessa and her mother were standing here in this strip mall just north of Clinton. The vehicle in which Stafford was in drove southbound on Marks, saw Brian Cooks on a skateboard going in this direction, and that's when the exchange of gunfire happened. Brian Cooks fired 1 round from this direction, ultimately went 270 yards and struck Janessa.
So Cooks and Stafford are in jail, $1 million bail. There was another man arrested, and this included agencies from the state that were involved in this, and also the Gilroy Police Department. By the way, check out yesterday's Fresno Bee, written by Armin Bacon, this article right here. Here it is, and it talked about the interview that I'd conducted here with the father of Janessa Ramirez, Jay Ramirez, almost 2 weeks ago now. Well, not quite, about a week and a half ago. We're going to continue here on the program. We got our second half here we're going to talk about entertainment and a charity event that's taking place this coming Thursday night at the Tower Theater. Back in just a moment.
At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
The Ballad of Andy and Barney. Andy and Barney were lawmen, bravest you ever did see. Warned every crook in the record book to stay out of Mayberry. They were the law.
Yes, they were the law, and they didn't know fear.
The Andy Griffith Show.
I guess to sum it up, you could say there's 3 reasons why there's so little crime in Mayberry. There's Andy, and there's me, and baby makes 3.
Now on MeTV Fresno.
Tough TV is the first digital broadcast network to offer first-run original programming targeted at men. Tough TV features content that men are passionate about. Sports.
No matter what happens in the fight, ooh, good right, left. He's coming on strong.
Lifestyle.
What we've done is we've created a technology that allows us to run video games in extremely powerful servers in server centers.
Drama.
Did you cause this?
Reality.
Welcome to this edition of Eye for an Eye. Now, today in court, we have the case of the reckless brother who tried to unravel his own family ties.
Talk.
Bam! We have a winner!
Specials.
I'm Dick Butkus. Welcome to the Butkus Awards TV special.
And movies.
Everybody on your knees, put your hands on the table.
Sports, lifestyle, drama, reality, talk, specials, and movies. Are you tough enough?
Spinners Records, the Valley's classic vinyl headquarters, carries an inventory of over 500,000 classic LPs. Choose from rock, rhythm and blues, country, jazz, and oldies but goodies. Spinners also buys and sells fully restored, old school stereo gear and LP. You can now get a turntable receiver and speakers for below $250. We carry name brands like Marantz, Sansui, and Pioneer.
At Spinners, we sell memories.
Spinners Records at 639 East Olive Avenue in the Tower District.
Okay. Back here on the program Connect with me on MeTV Fresno. Today's program is sponsored by Dr. Thomas Casagrande, and we thank him for that. Hey, time to talk spotlight on entertainment now. This coming Thursday, a benefit concert. And so this concert takes place on Thursday night at 7:30. I do want to put up the flyer full screen so you can take a look at that graphic. It's called Feed Our Future. It takes place at 7:30 at the Tower Theater. We'll put that up now so you can see the flyer full screen. And at the concert you will hear the music of, well, many people, including Terry Talbot, Stephanie Rosa Stoltenberg. Do we have that graphic? No? Oh, okay. Okay, well, we have no idea where it went. Anyway, at the concert, you're going to hear Talbot and Rose perform. Here's what you might hear. We're going to play that video right now. Go ahead.
She'd say, sweet little Annabelle, easy to slip, left her
Live in our studio now, left to right, of course, Stephanie Rose Stoltenberg and Terry Talbot on the guitar. They're going to play this coming Thursday at 7:30 at the Tower Theater. Feed Our Future is the name of the program, and others will also be there, like Eva Scow. She was a guest here not too long ago on Connect With Me. AJ Fox from KC24, Ray Haney, and others. 7:30, we're going to be back with our program here on Connect With Me. We'll entertain you with our two guests. You can call in. Back in just a moment.
Spinners Records, the Valley's classic vinyl headquarters, carries an inventory of over 500,000 classic LPs. Choose from rock, rhythm and blues, country, jazz, and oldies but goodies. Spinners also buys and sells fully restored old school stereo gear and LPs. You can now get a turntable receiver and speakers for below $250. We carry name brands like Marantz, Sansui, and Pioneer.
At Spinners, we sell memories.
Spinners Records at 639 East Olive Avenue in the Tower District.
At 2020 Optometric, your vision is their focus. Whether you're 5 or 65, Dr. Thomas Casagrande will get to know you, your lifestyle, and vision needs to ensure that your contacts or eyeglasses are a perfect fit and the right prescription every time. With the Valley's largest selection of eyewear, 2020 has over 2,000 frames, including top designer brands like Coach, Tiffany, Prada, Ray-Ban, Oakley, and more. Eye exams start as low as $89, so call or stop by to schedule your appointment today.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD, 3D, web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
I promise, my friends, I got the flyer right here. It's this Thursday night, Tower Theater. It takes place at 7:30. Steph is here. Terry is here. So what is this event about? I'm so glad that you're here. By the way, welcome. It's Monday morning.
Thank you for having us.
Hope you guys have a good
Thank
week.
Thank you.
It's called Feed Our Future. What is that program? I'll start with you.
Feed Our Future is a benefit program that feeds children in the schools that go home on the weekends that don't really have ready available food. So they come every Friday, and they have, it used to be a paper bag, but I guess now it's a plastic bag with a variety of as much nutritious food as they can provide for them to get them through the weekend. So
because many of these kids, they don't eat anywhere else but at school.
No, and that's their full, breakfast and lunch is at school, and then at night they're on their own. And so probably some people don't realize many of them live in like hotels where their entire family lives in one room. Mm-hmm. And so they've got very limited facilities and limited budgets, and so this is just their way so that when the kids get back to school on Monday, they're ready to learn, and they're actually, feeling a little stronger.
Terry, how much money do you hope to raise for this program?
I don't know. I wish I could give you a more definitive answer. The organization itself, Feed Our Future, is hoping to take most, if not all, of what comes in that evening, and it goes right to the kids,
to the program,
right to the kids, because they have found backers, to cover the expenses and to cover the hall and the things that are outstanding.
And many of us are donating our time too.
We're donating our time,
so it helps.
Golly, you take 700 seats times an average of $25, and that money can all go to the kids.
Yeah, it goes for a good cause.
Well, another thing too, they have a Fill a Belly program, so that night they will also be taking where if people want to sponsor, for $10 a month even, so that they know what their monthly budgets are, that's going to be available too, whatever they want to do.
Now, how long have you two been singing together? Because I saw the video, we all saw the video, it was very well produced. I like the backdrop, I know you designed the set. Yeah, good job, Stephanie, good job. Good job.
You.
So the name of your little group here is called Talbot Rose, right?
Yes. Right.
Okay.
Right.
How long you been together?
About a year.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. We found each other on Facebook, of all places. because we knew all the same people. I started out years ago. I started out when I was 18 playing for Sonny and Cher, and then I did 5 albums with Warner's, and then I quit that band, toured with the Eagles, worked with Barry McGuire then for 13 years.
He's going to be there, right? Barry
is our big star.
Very famous guy. Yeah.
And then Steph has been singing here in town doing commercials. Yeah, a really good. Anyway, we knew all the same people.
Right.
And so we touched base, and I said, well, let's sing together. Are you singing with anybody? No. Well, me neither, you know. So we started singing, and we liked it.
Wow.
And I've told Steph a number of times, all the work I've done around the globe over the past 45 years, this is the most fun I'm having singing. Believe it or not. So it's
Can you play a short tune together right now?
Yeah, we'll just play part of a little tune. This is one. It's really appropriate. Paul McCartney wrote this song, seeing an African American woman sitting on a park bench in New York City, and he wrote this for her, and we sing it for the kids.
All right. Go ahead.
Blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. And all your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbirds singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to sing, and all your life
you were only waiting for this moment to be free.
Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night.
So that's Paul McCartney, huh?
Yeah, that's Paul McCartney.
That's it.
Thank God for Paul.
So more about this program, Feed Our Future. Is this a non-profit organization? And when was this thing formed? How did this all come about?
This year, Shelby Dart, I'm a realtor and they are realtors as well, so we're all kind of in a family. They came together and it just kind of took off. It's like as they started feeding, people started learning about it and bringing in more and more funding and so forth, so it's kind of just exploded over this last year.
Yeah, and the good thing is that you know, the money doesn't go anywhere else but directly to the kids.
Yes.
It doesn't go to pay anybody's salary or anything like that. It goes directly to this program.
You know, it's a newer organization here in Fresno, and it's kind of cool because what I'm seeing it do is touch a lot of the folks who support the arts. Fresno is really good about supporting the artistic stuff here in town, the museums and the music, and we're touching those same people, and they're going, well, of course, we would like to do this as well, and getting on board and helping out.
And so talk a little bit more about the program, what people might see on Thursday night, Tower Theater, 7:30 at night. Tickets are how much?
They're 23, 33, and 53. And
how long is the program?
It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's a good program.
Yeah.
I've got 2 of my kids' bands, my student bands playing, and we're having trouble following them. They're so good.
Right.
Steph and I are going to sing some songs that we're in the process of recording. Barry and I are going to sing together with Stephanie and our group.
We're going to back him up.
Very full music.
And Eva Scow, if you haven't seen her, she's terrific.
Amazing.
She was here. She was a guest here.
Eva's awesome.
Yeah, she's very intense, but very, very talented musician.
Talented.
Yeah.
She played at Carnegie Hall, as we all know.
Yep.
And then A.J. Fox is going to be there. He's got his own band, doesn't he? Or something?
Yes, he does. Yes.
AJ's a darn good guitar player, man. And of course, we love the fact that he can MC a little bit. But what I'm excited about is playing music with him.
He's going to be great.
Right.
Roger Perry is there. Have you had Roger on the show at all?
Yes, Roger Perry.
He's going to be there,
Roger's
and he'll sing a song for everybody.
All right, Ray Haney. Explain who Ray Haney is.
The Rock Bottom Boys. Ray Haney is one of the main members of that band. They've been together a long time, and they do tons of work in the spring and summer and fall for the fairs. They're everywhere. So they have like 150 dates this next year.
And then Carl Deese.
Carl Deese, he's amazing. Terry knows
Carl is a
Carl's.
buddy of mine that I've just got. He's the worship director at the Well Community Church. Carl comes from Nashville, Tennessee. He was Brad Paisley's guitar tech, and then he went on the road with a group called Casting Crowns, and we are blessed to have
He's
Carl
amazing.
in Fresno.
And Jimmy McCartney.
Jimmy was going to be here and
Yeah,
can't.
he's the only one that
He is our drummer
He's an
extraordinaire
amazing
on all
drummer.
of So
Hey, talk about your time with Sonny and Cher a little bit.
Oh, man.
How did that?
I
How did
was-
all that go down?
I was 18 years old, got a call, and
That was just yesterday.
That was actually 5 years ago. No, years are piling up. Got a call from their music director and said, "You play 12-string guitar?" "Yes." "Do you have an electric?" "Yes." "Can you read music?" "Yes." "Would you like to play for Sonny and Cher?" Yes. And so they came through the Midwest, and I did a few dates with them. Spent a lot of time with Sonny. What a great guy he was. And,
tragic how he
It
died.
was very tragic.
Tragic.
Very sad.
Yeah. So and that was neat. That was my first glimpse into the big time. And on the same show, played with Glenn Campbell, and sang back up with him and played acoustic rhythm guitar.
Now
And
I don't know if he still makes public appearances because
Not
he has Alzheimer's, as
he
we all
does.
know.
Yeah.
And then Cher, she's got ties to Fresno High, I believe.
Yeah.
Did she go to Fresno High for a while?
You know, I'm not sure that she did. Her family is up here. She spent so much time vacationing up here as a kid. A lot of people think she's from here, and she's not. But her family is up here, and I think her dad was here for a while, and she visited a lot.
Yeah.
So-
But this concert takes place on Thursday, 7:30 at the Tower Theater. What does that place hold?
700.
700.
761.
To be exact.
To be exact.
It's a nice theater.
It's a great theater. But I'm just curious why you picked the Tower. I love the Tower. Don't get me wrong. I love the Tower. But why the Tower?
For all those reasons. We love the Tower. It's just got a
old and
great...
It's nice.
Yeah.
But was it the acoustics or what was it?
The acoustics for music in there are really good.
Yeah.
I've seen Tommy Emmanuel in there, and yeah.
It's nice to bring things downtown, though. It's wonderful, and that's a great theater to do it in.
Yeah, it really is.
And they treated us well. Let me just tell you.
Really?
They give us great access. I have sets going up on that as well, and they're working with us on. Yeah.
Hey, do we have time to play the video? The second video? Let's play that video because I want to stress again, you designed the set. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
All right, let's roll it, play it, see it, and hear it. Very well and professionally done. That was done, shot in Fowler, you
Yes,
said?
at John Hollingsworth Farm. Yes.
Outdoors.
Outdoors at night. It was
At
cold.
night. Freezing cold.
We were lucky. It was a lot less cold than we expected.
Looked like it was a little foggy too, was it?
We brought all that in, the fog machines, the lighting.
Man.
Chad did an amazing. We had stuff built everywhere. Yeah.
Oh,
It was
you
cool.
know what? I have to promote this one more time before I go. Thursday night, 7:30, Tower Theater. It's Talbot and Rose, but it's called the program is called Feed Our Future. It goes to all those kids that are in need of eating, like breakfast, lunch, part of their dinner at school.
Yes.
Steph, good luck.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you very
us.
much. You guys
Thanks,
are
Mike.
beautiful
Thank
together.
you. Oh,
you look
thank
great.
you.
Terry,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Come
so
back
much.
again?
We will.
We will.
I'd love to
It'll
have
be
you.
fun.
All right.
Absolutely.
We'll do it.
That's going to do it for us today. We're talking water rates again tomorrow because Thursday is coming up fast. Sal Quintero, the city councilman, will be here to talk for the full hour. We'll see you tomorrow, and thanks to Dr. Thomas Casagrande for his sponsorship today. Have a good day.